Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this week's live stream. I had a few technical issues with the software, so hopefully you guys have seen this new stream that has been made live. So I'll give it a few moments for people to come into the stream. So, as you know, it is a weekly thing we do here on the channel. It's a weekly live stream where we talk about all things property related, house prices, affordability, and we get to ask any questions which, the community has in terms of how to buy a house, what you're experiencing buying and selling a property, and all those things as well. Now, unfortunately, I think this is not working. So I'm going to reset this up and I'll be back in a minute. Oh no, are we working? Are we working, guys? Give me a hello if you're there in the stream, because I'm having some issues today with with the live stream. Yes, okay. Touch, welcome back. Abay, thank you. Yes. Pokewood, Mick, E-Jane, missed you last week, E-Jane. Thank you so much for coming. Yes, we're all good. So basically I had I was using a different streaming software, which when I went to test it, the camera wasn't finding and the microphone wasn't working. So I had to go back to my old one, set up a new stream. So hopefully you can all hear me, and everyone that should be here is here. So lovely with some regulars. Welcome back each week. Love it. Tick, new one. Welcome to the channel. Paul, thank you for coming back. And Ben, a regular as well, saying hello to everyone. So as always, going back to what this stream is going to be about, there wasn't a weekly report from Rightmove, Zoopla, Nationwide, or Halifax for the house price index. But what Halifax have released this week is an affordability report and how much things are changing for buyers, first-time buyers, and all those sort of bits in between. So we're going to go over that first. And then, as always, we'll go into the to the questions, into the community, and just saying hello to everyone and sharing our experiences. So if you haven't already done so, please give the stream a like. If you're a regular, you know the drill. We like to get as many likes on this stream as possible, so YouTube will spread it to more and more people. So if you haven't already done so, please hit that like button. I will be very, very, very grateful. And I'm just going to have to share my screen here because I'm not very prepared. Let's just go over these comments first. Jane, good to be back. Lost my buy last minute. Oh no. Oh, that's gutting. What happened, E-Jane? What happened? I'm sure everyone will feel your pain with that. Feel your pain. Let us know what happened if you don't mind, that is. Hello, hi everyone. I'm new here. Greetings. I'm going to say Rayo because I will butcher your first name. We all know here that I'm not very good at pronouncing names. So if I do pronounce it and I do it wrong, I'm incredibly sorry. Toch is saying hi to Ben. Taki, welcome back, my friend. Welcome back. And Maya, another regular. What I'm loving is we're getting 5 to 10, maybe sometimes 15 people who are regular viewers on this channel. So I'm going to say viewers. I mean, we're a community now, aren't we? We're getting to know each other. We're sharing our experiences. I'm experiencing what I'm doing at work. You're experiencing what you're doing in your house buying journey. So here we go. You can call me VJ. VJ, perfect. Lovely stuff. I'll do that, VJ. Thank you for that. Another regular, Mean7. Welcome back. So, right, let's get this screen sharing. I get easily distracted. So, screen share screen, Chrome tab. Where are we? Right, that's up and ready. Right, so there's this press release which they've brought out, which goes over housing affordability, and it's saying at the moment it's stretched more than ever. And I think anybody who's looking to buy a house right now knows that it's bloody difficult to afford a property. If you're on your own in terms of a single income, the amount properties are costing at the moment compared to average wages is quite a lot. So let's just go into this report. Let's make that bigger for you guys so you can see it. I'm just going to read over this. So, house prices are up 16.8% since the start of the pandemic, while average income is up only 2.7%. So you can see that's quite a difference in terms of earnings going up compared to house prices, but 16.8% since March 2020. Yeah, that's an absolute huge increase, and no one would have expected that to happen when we were hearing that this virus was coming from Asia and sweeping across Europe to our little island. But it got here and it done horrible things to the country and the world. But what it didn't do, which many people anticipated, is make the housing market crash. And instead, up 16.8% according to Halifax figures. So the cost of a typical UK home now is 7.1 times average earnings, the highest level ever. So if you're somebody on your own on the average wage, you've got to times that by 7.1. And as you all know, at the moment, the most you're going to be able to get is between 4.5 times your wages and 5.5 times your wages, depending on your circumstances. So a real massive gap in earnings to what they need to be able to afford the average home. This isn't even a spectacular home to have 7.1 times your wages. Just the average home, you've got around 7.1 times. Oh, it's nuts. It's nuts. So the most expensive or least affordable place is in London, Westminster and the City of London. Everclyde in Scotland now is the most affordable place to buy a home. So if you work there, then your income multiplier doesn't need to be anywhere near the 7.1 times. But Pembrokeshire has seen the biggest fall in affordability over the 2 years. So they've probably seen the highest increase in house prices. And look, that's live streaming. Stuff just falls off the desk and makes a noise. So I do apologise for that. Let's take a break from that for a moment while things settle down here. Jane, what happened? Where are we? So sold my house in January, found a house finally in May. My buyer just backed out 2 weeks before completion. Seller's given me a week to resell. Different this time round for viewings for sure. Yeah, so I sold your house in January. So we're talking six months ago, you sold your property. Gone wrong now or last week, which we're all very annoyed at for you. Very annoyed at for you, Jane. So you're noticing what? The viewings aren't as consistent, aren't as busy now. Have you put your price up as well? Because that might be something which might help soften the blow, Jane. But again, if you need to sell within a week, then maybe keeping it the same sort of price will help with that. So let us know what you're doing. Maya, we finally got a mortgage offer approved. Fantastic. Congratulations, Maya. Congratulations. Bit of a yin and yang evening so far. Bad news for Jane, but some good news for Maya. So let's all give Maya some love and some sympathy for Jane as well. She's always on the channel helping out. So I really want to send her some positive vibes on that. So I hope she can get sold sooner rather than later. Louise is back. Welcome, Louise. Hi, everyone. We offered on a property last week, and despite putting a 15k over asking price, we got outbid by a much higher offer again. That seems to be a constant thing, doesn't it, at the moment? People offering well over asking price and still not getting it, losing out to people who are offering even higher. And this is difficult because in different areas, different things are happening. I'm noticing that it's not as busy as what it was, where people having to offer over asking price has really gone down. Whereas Louise, and I think maybe last week, Louise offered on somewhere which went over asking price and lost out as well. I might be wrong on that, Louise. So let me know if I'm right. But depending where you are in the country is a massive swing in what you're going to have to offer to find somewhere. So starting to see prices come down a tiny bit where we're looking, and houses are coming back onto the market very often after not selling or falling through. Yeah. So there are fall throughs, as Jane will tell you, that people have a change of circumstances. They have to withdraw or what have you. But there are more properties coming onto the market. I noticed it about 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks ago with more and more stuff coming onto the market and vendors reducing as well. So yeah, you should start seeing houses that haven't been on the market, so that have been on the market for 3 or 4 weeks, that if they're not selling, they should be being reduced. If they haven't reduced, it might be worth viewing and trying a cheeky bid. Louise giving some congratulations to Matt. Yep, so well done. And May giving her condolences, as we all are, to Jane. So, yeah, sorry about that. Chigo, highly, even though I got back the home buyers report today, overwhelming document. Any tips to go from here? So if it's a home buyers survey, it should be have like a traffic light system where green 1 is okay, 2 amber is get it looked at, and 3 red means give it urgent attention. So the 1s are going to be fine. The 2s, they're going to be things you're going to want to be looking into. If you can get free quotations for any of the 2s that are brought up, then definitely do so. The 3s are more urgent, more pressing things. And a home buyer's report would always have the gas and the electric as a number 3 because the surveyor is not a gas safe engineer or a qualified electrician. So don't be put off too much by the gas and the electric thing. You can always get that tested yourself or see if the owner does have a certificate. But if there's anything, Chigo, that you want to discuss regarding the report, pop it in the comment section. Other people may have experienced it and want to share their views and their experiences as well. EJ giving the love for Maya. And Maya saying thank you. Thank you. Waiting on the survey and the searches to come back now. Perfect. All going nicely. All going nicely. So EJ had 2 offers. Excellent. And 8 viewings. Had 16 viewers offers and 45 viewings first time round. People are also getting more power back as buyers as the strength of affordability is low. Exactly. Exactly. You know your beans, don't you? You know your beans. You're right, Lee. We lost that a few weeks ago to a much higher offer. It's almost impossible to know what to offer, really. And I wish I'd be able to help with that. But every area, there's like little micro markets where house prices are coming down. Some are going up. I mean, just look at the report here. Everclyde in Scotland is more affordable. So people there may be paying way over asking price because it is so affordable. Whereas Westminster, people might be getting a bit more of a deal. But yeah, I wish I could offer some advice on that. But if you want to email me, you can email me and we can discuss about specific ones. If you want to send me any links of properties or my advice on what to offer, then by all means. And you know the email address, leeeverett@propertyadvice@gmail.com. James, hi Lee. Hope you and the new wife are well. We are very well. Thank you very much. What's your opinion on bungalows? I've heard they're a good investment and have actually increased in value recently, more so than houses. So bungalows will always be in demand because there's always a flow of mature people who want to get rid of stairs and downsize. And the natural move is to go for a bungalow. Even when the markets get tough, people unfortunately have falls downstairs and want to get rid of the stairs and move into 1 floor living, whether it be a bungalow or a flat. So bungalows will always have a steady stream of people. I wouldn't say they've gone up percentage wise more than houses, James. Bungalows generally are more expensive than houses anyway. So if a bungalow goes up by £30,000 and a house goes up £20,000, the percentage increase might be the same, although the monetary value might be different. But yeah, generally bungalows are more sought after and tend to hold their value as well. But I haven't noticed any particular difference between bungalow house prices and houses. But certainly in the flat market, flats haven't gone up as quickly in the last couple of years as places with outside space like houses and bungalows. But yeah, I wouldn't discount a bungalow at all. My first purchase was a bungalow, and it done me well. Tick, welcome back. Looking for mortgages, changing a residential mortgage to a buy-to-let and buying a new one with residential. Any recommendations? So you can change your mortgage with permission onto a let-to-buy mortgage. Depends on a few things. I'm not a mortgage broker. However, I am looking at becoming a qualified mortgage broker. So if you think that's something I should do, let me know in the comment section. If you'd listen to this guy for mortgage advice, not just property market advice. But yeah, definitely speak to your own lender first, see what your options are, especially if you're tied in with a fixed rate mortgage at the moment. If not, or you're approaching the end of your fixed term, speak to a fully qualified, fully independent mortgage broker who'll be able to advise you on the best thing to do. I'm not allowed to advise on specifics of mortgages because I don't have the relevant qualification to do so. But I would certainly speak to your lender first for their advice. And then if not, speak to a qualified mortgage broker. That would be my opinion, not my advice, my opinion. Louise, things are definitely getting better for buyers for sure, just from a seller's point of view, even if it might not seem it. Exactly. It's all going, it's swings and roundabouts, isn't it? Swings and roundabouts. Ben, broker was only able to find me one lender Let's change that because I'm at the top of my budget. They have a terrible reviews as a lender, but beggars can't be choosers, I guess. Should I be concerned? I mean, how bad can a lender be? I mean, as Maya will tell you, with the mortgage that she's been waiting ages for, they can take some time, but some of the mainstream lenders are taking weeks and weeks and weeks for mortgage offers. So if it is maybe a bad review because of how quick they come back regarding the mortgage and booking in surveys, which isn't really down to them, then I wouldn't be too concerned about that. As long as you're using a broker who can keep on the ball with the lender, have a contact to speak to at the lender, then I wouldn't be too over concerned. If they can give you the mortgage, and as you say, beggars can't be choosers. So if you can get the mortgage with them, go for it. And if it gets you the house you want, then go for it, Ben. Go for it. I've just got to say as well, if you want to do a super chat as well, we've recently become monetized here at Lee Everett Property. So if you do want to send a super chat, that'll bring your comment to the top of the chat. It'll make it stand out for me and it'll stay up there for a little while. All proceeds are going to go potentially into my mortgage broker course. So if you want to help support me do that, then that'd be fantastic. But no pressure if not. I will get to all the comments eventually anyway. Just lost my place. Abaid, what should the minimum lease term be before considering extending it? What is the typical cost for an extension? So regarding leasehold, personally, it gets more and more expensive the lower the lease gets. Every year, your leasehold property gets older, the lease goes down a year, and the more the freeholder will charge. Because what they do is at the moment, freeholders can get something called marriage value. So when you do a new lease, the freeholder will get a percentage of the increase in value of your property. So if you renew a lease earlier, then that increase isn't going to be as big, and therefore you're not going to have to pay them as much money. But ideally, you want to, I wouldn't buy a property less than 110, 115 years left on the lease at the moment. That'd be my personal thing. The government are doing things to hopefully eradicate how much freeholders can charge for renewing a lease and ground rent caps and stuff like that. So at the moment, it might be worth just holding fire in terms of renewing your lease, because it may get scrapped, but you just don't know with the government how long it's going. There might be a year, it might be 3 years. If it goes into the next parliament when maybe the Conservatives aren't in power, then it may get scrapped altogether. But if you feel like you're going to need to renew it soon, but anything below 100 years, people will start to think, do you know what, that lease is getting a bit low. If it's coming up to 80 years, then you definitely want to do it. And the cost will vary depending on the freeholder, how much ground rent you choose to pay is, and basically how long you want to extend it by. So, lots of caveats to that answer. Can't help that much, but but costing wise, it could be anything from a couple of thousand to 30, 40, 50,000 pounds, depending on the freeholder and how much they want to charge you. But you can always go to a leasehold tribunal if you don't agree with the price that the freeholder has quoted you. Diva, welcome back, my friend. Welcome back. Hope you're doing well. If you haven't liked the channel, guys, please hit the like button. Pay me. Hello, Lee. Is it viable to ask the seller to come close to the price of a bank value? 100%. Well, ideally, you want them at the bank's valuation, because otherwise you're going to have to make up the difference. So if you've had your mortgage valuation done, because it's not quite a survey, you want to be presenting that information to the estate agent and say, look, this property has been downvalued to X amount of money. Will the seller renegotiate to that price? If they don't, then you've got a choice as to whether you make up the difference or you walk away from the property. But no, it's certainly not unviable to ask that question. In fact, it's a perfectly good question to ask after having that, because if they don't reduce and you can't make it up, the bank's not going to lend you the money. So definitely worth asking the question. All they can do is say no. Louise, EJ, it's really good to know. Yes, starting to notice some subtle changes, which is good. Keeping it positive. Exactly. Let's keep it positive, guys. You know I'm an optimistic guy. We don't like pessimism. We like being positive and buzzing, even though it annoys the less optimistic people in my life, like the wife. Bo Yoon, welcome back. Hi, Lee. Been waiting for this live stream all day. Thank you. Our lender is going to send a surveyor to the property we want to buy. How often do they downvalue a property? It's becoming more and more common at the moment, whereas before January, we had a handful of downvaluings in probably hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of deals, whereas now it's maybe 1 in 100 are getting down valued. So it's getting a little bit more common. So I wouldn't say there's a specific formula. If the surveyor can't find comparable properties that have sold at the same sort of price that you're paying for the property, then they will down value it. So if you can find comparable houses that are the same price, sold at the same price that you're buying, then you shouldn't have a problem. If you struggle to find properties that are sold at the same price, then so will the surveyor, and therefore maybe down value the property. But hopefully they don't do that. But I hope they don't do that. When is the surveyor going round? Do you know yet? Let me know. Let me know. Has anyone noticed estate agents putting houses online and then withdrawing the adverts very quickly after putting them up? We are seeing this a lot on Rightmove. Do you reckon that's because they're being sold? Louise, do you think they're sold? I mean, you know, it's any particular one agent that's doing it, or it's a lot of different agents? I know some agents to mark. Rightmove have this thing called Rightmove charts, which estate agents use to show how many houses they've sold and stuff like that. And for that house to show as a sold property on Rightmove on their charts, it has to be live on Rightmove for 24 hours. If you don't have it live on Rightmove for 24 hours, it won't go into the Rightmove sold figures that estate agents love to share with the world. So you might find that they're putting it on the market overnight and then the very next morning making it sold to go into their sold figures. That's probably the only thing I can think of, but happy to be proved wrong on that front. I've just skipped loads. There we go. Tick, thank you so much. No, you're more than welcome. More than welcome. DJ72, welcome to the channel, my friend. I think you're new here, or the first time you've commented, so welcome. I recently bought a 2-bedroom bungalow. It needed full refurbishment. I also want to do an extension and add another bedroom. Should I wait for building prices to come down or just get it done? I mean, that's a wider question than property market. That's all about inflation and price of materials and stuff like that. I mean, can you live with it? I mean, while you're refurbing it, surely you want to extend it while you're refurbing it. You don't want to spend thousands of pounds plastering and that just to then knock walls down and then extend. If it's going to be your home and you're going to be there for a number of years, DJ, then yeah, I'll just get it done. If you can afford to do it, get it done and start enjoying it. You can always remortgage later on and pull some money back out if costs did go a bit too much or you want to pay yourself back. But yeah, I'd personally, yeah, just get it done and enjoy your house. Enjoy your house or bungalow. Chico, I have 3 ratings for the chimney stack, main walls and roof structure. Generally, the exterior has not been maintained over the years. Okay, right. So chimney stacks, that could be that they're wonky. You can get a roofer to go and have a look at that while they're up there checking the main roof structure. The main walls, would that be due to damp or asbestos? That could be something to look at. Chico, if you want to email me the report for me to go through, if you ping me an email to that address, leeeverettpropertyadvice@gmail.com, if you're happy to share that information, I'll look over the report for you and give you what I think needs looking at more urgently and what should you can sort of leave. I say, if you don't want to, that's absolutely fine. You've paid a lot of money for that report. But if you do want an unbiased opinion on what is important and what's not, then I'm here. If you do want to email leeeverettpropertyadvice@gmail.com. Oh dear, looks like we've got something in here we don't want in here. Hang on. Where are we? EJ, Ben, has your broker got quite a big panel of lenders? Would it be worth looking at others to see if they have more lenders? Some banks are slower than others, but your broker should help you navigate. She's good, isn't she? She's good. She's good. Whatever I forget to say, always there in helping me. Always there in helping me. Let's show some love for EJ and for helping out the stream. So thank you. Thank you. But she's quite right. Quite right. VJ, we are finding it difficult to find a 4-bedroom detached house under 650 grand near Workingham. In 2019, prices were around 475,000. Would prices come back down to 2019 level in the near future? So if we're hoping for this crash, and VJ, if you come here every week from now on, you'll know that I don't think we're going to have this massive crash that a lot of people are expecting or hoping for. What it tends to be, a lot of people that keep writing about crashes are journalists, because people love knowing about the property market, and people who want the market to crash so they can buy more properties, generally investors or first-time buyers. But But at the moment, while there is such a shortage of properties coming to the market, and although that shortage is getting smaller as more properties do come onto the market, there's still huge demand and lack of stock, which is underpinning the price increase. And as Halifax are saying, prices have gone up 16.8% since the pandemic. So you're having you need a price drop of more than that to get back to 2019 prices, and I just can't see it happening anytime soon. We might see some monthly dips, but I can't see us going sort of consistently negative house price growth. I just can't see it. I can't see it, but I could be wrong. This is just my opinion. I'm not pretending to know for definite, but my opinion is I can't see prices dropping to that sort of level. Everyone's still predicting that house prices will finish this year higher than what they were last year, even with the cost of living. Next year might be a little different, but at the moment, yeah, probably 6 months is probably the best we can guess at what's going to happen with house prices. And even then, it's not an exact science. DJ 72, do I have to pay council if the property is uninhabitable? Check with your local council. Local councils have different rules and when they will charge council tax and when they won't. So definitely worth finding out with your local authority on that one. My one, I think there's certain situations where you don't have to pay council tax, but it's only for a short period of time. But again, that will vary from council to council. Ben. Thanks, Lee and EJ. This is the third broker I've tried, as all others couldn't find me a lender for my budget. Let's see how it goes. If it's your third broker, then one of them's got to have been fully independent. Otherwise, you've been very unlucky. So if a fully independent broker has struggled, then you may just have to sort of bite the bullet on that one, my friend. Abaid, you are most welcome. Most welcome. Give me food. Welcome back. Online only surveys before. Have I missed a comment there? Give me food. Let me know if I have. Sorry. Sylvia. Good evening. Welcome back. I think you was here last week. If not, I'm sorry. If you haven't, give the channel a like or give the stream a like so YouTube pushes it out to more people. So thank you very much. EJ and Ben, I say, don't give up for sure. You could be pleasantly surprised. Your broker should help you feel. Absolutely. That's what brokers are there for. We've got somebody that seems to be posting something about Tinder and a certain adult act, which I'll try and block somehow. Block user. There we go. So Maya, I noticed that the Tului's been wondering about that. Okay, so a couple of people are noticing agents putting on properties onto Rightmove and taking them off. So just tick that little box on the search criteria to see to tick the sold properties and see if those properties are appearing as sold. Because I'd be interested to know. I can't think of another reason why an agent would put a house on the market just to take it off the next day. This doesn't make sense. Must be a reason. Right, I made a few offers and speaking to estate agents, and they advise they see mortgages downvalue the loan they can offer, but people are willing to top up from other sources. Yeah, I mean, so if you're willing to top up and able to top up the deposit to make up the shortfall, then yeah, by all means, the bank don't care. They're only going to lend you that amount of money they value it at. If you want to make up the shortfall, absolutely fine. But you just got to be wary as if you are putting more money of your own money into it, if there is a dip in prices in the next 5 years or what have you, then that's gonna eat into it. So just be wary. You're more than welcome. Ping it over to me. I can't guarantee I'll look at it tonight because I do have a life after work and this channel, so a life and a wife and kids. But yeah, if I'll get around to looking at it as soon as I can for you, and I'll ping you a response. So my computer's going a bit slow. Harley, because I'm getting a Sherry completely fine, but banks don't offer retentions. When the value goes round, they use a damp meter, which is not even accurate. Bank wants specialist damp. You should be able to get that free. I mean, in my area, there's a few timber and damp companies that will go round to the property and offer free quotations for timber and damp. If not, you may have to pay between £50 and £100 for them to do it. But spending that £50 to £100 could save you thousands if you find a big damp problem later on in down the line. So definitely free timber and damp report done if you can. If not, it would be worth paying £50 to £100 to get that looked at. or even getting a home buyers survey round to see if that's something which they would pick up on their damp meter, which they should do. That would be between £300 and £600, depending on the type of property. Sometimes more as well. Where are we? Take it easy. I did see it mainly due to the volume of calls estate agent getting. Most viewing booking slots for popular properties get filled within the hour being online. Yeah. I mean, anything popular for me, 3-bedroom semi-house, 2-bedroom mid-terrace or end-terrace house, going like that. Viewings left, right and centre. There's people sat over like, yes, I know. I had massive software problems I was using a different streaming software, and then I couldn't get the camera to work or the audio. I was on, literally during eating my dinner, I was on with their support trying to get it sorted. I couldn't get it sorted in time, so I've had to nip back over to my usual one and set up a new stream. So if you wouldn't mind jumping over there and directing them to here, DM, that'd be fantastic. Yeah, I've had murders this evening, absolute murders. So Jane, I've had to put my house on the market for more than what it was before. It's annoyed a few people viewing, but I'm buying at a higher price too now, so I needed to sell. Exactly. The market has moved. The market's moved, so you've got to look after yourself, and don't worry about if buyers get annoyed. There'll be other properties they can buy, and I know a lot of buyers are sitting in here right now, but when an owner needs a certain price to make a deal happen, they're the ones where people aren't going to get much money off, because an owner needs that sort of price to be able to move. So don't feel bad at all. It's yeah, it is what it is. You've got to look after number one, as buyers will be looking after number one as well. Give me food. Have you heard of Sterlingworth Surveyors before? They have an office, but not a shop that customers can visit. I haven't. No. I think you mentioned not to trust online-only surveyors. That'll be online-only solicitors. Give me food. I'm not a massive fan of online-only solicitors or conveyancers. They're not normally conveyances. So, I'm not overly keen on those. Online surveyors, I don't think they're such a thing, because you need to go and obviously visit a property to survey a property. Online solicitors, I don't particularly have a lot of time for, but there are probably some good ones, but I'm yet to come across one, in my opinion. Tick. Will revaluation differ a lot between a bank and a estate agent, such as Connells? Will the bank do their own if they provide? Yeah, so let's go over the house buying process with the mortgage side. So when you apply for your mortgage, you'll get a mortgage agreement in principle. So they'll lend you that amount of money subject to the valuation and other checks on yourself and your income. They will then pay or instruct for a surveyor to go around and provide a mortgage valuation. So depending on, as we said earlier in the stream, if there's enough evidence to support the price you're paying, and that is in the form of other properties that have sold or completed that match roughly the sort of price you're paying for your property, then the property won't get downvalued. If the surveyor cannot find enough comparable properties at the price you're paying for it, they will downvalue to the nearest comparable they can find. The difference will be between what the agent have said and what the surveyor will said. You'd like to think it wouldn't be much, but sometimes it can be a hell of a lot of money. And you can try and renegotiate or walk away or make up the difference. But yeah, there's no set formula as to how much surveyors will downvalue the property by. It just depends on the type of comparable properties they can find. But the survey is in a couple of weeks. We want them to downvalue the property so we can renegotiate what we want to pay. But I'm worried they aren't bothered, as they want to lend us the money. Well, look, once they've been round to the property bar, they will they'll give you their unbiased opinion as to what the property's worth. If they agree with the price you're paying for it, then you can still renegotiate. You can say you've had a change of heart and you want to try and renegotiate. But if they do agree with the price you're paying, you're doing it from a lot more difficult position. Your negotiating power is reduced because there's not as much, you haven't got any evidence to back up why you're reducing your offer. But if you feel you're overpaying for a property, it's always worth asking the question and seeing if the owner will renegotiate. All they can do is say no. And if they say no, you can walk away or carry on buying it. But try not to be too, what's the word I'm looking for here? Trying to annoy them. Don't be too cheeky with your offer, because they might go, you've annoyed us now, we don't want to sell to you. They'll put it back on the market and maybe get even more money, as eJane is trying to do. So DM has got an app he's polishing off. I've just been polishing my app, which provides instant notifications when a property is matching your criteria. Is this on a Rightmove to NAB first viewing? Let me know if you want to team up. I would love to help you with that. I would absolutely love to help you push that out. And I'm sure there's a lot of people in this chat that would love to have an app like that. So I think, yeah, let's put in the comment section below if you'd be interested in an app that notifies you as soon as a property goes on Rightmove, as soon as, rather than waiting for the agent to call you or to get the email from Rightmove. I think it's a fantastic idea, fantastic idea. So put it in the comment section if you want in on that. eJane, another tip for people viewing from a seller's point of view: try to point out all the faults to the owner as you walk around. Negative rapport. Try not to assume they're selling for a negative reason. Yeah. And this is where I say on a few of my videos before I started doing the live streams is you want to try and build up that rapport with a seller so they want to sell the property to you. And I'm sure eJane's had some people around that have said things that might not go down too well. If they make an offer on your property, automatically your back's up, isn't it? You think, yeah, I didn't quite like them and what they said, so I want more money from them. Whereas if you're a nice first-time buyer who compliments the owner, not too over the top that it's cringeworthy, but just is genuine and likes the property and just points out the nice things, keep the negative things to yourself. Talk about them in the car on the journey home. But yeah, certainly in front of the owner, all nice and polite, and don't point out that they're horrible green carpet or Artex walls or whatever you didn't like. Keep that to yourself until you get into the car. Great advice. I'm going to have to start paying you. Taki, yes, that's exactly what we're seeing. We spotted a few came up, called, and and it was showing as no longer on the market. Estate agents said it's because they've been overwhelmed with calls. Well, if I was a seller, I would want as many people to view my property as possible to maximize the price I'm going to get, as I'm sure Jane would agree. That's probably a little bit selfish from the agent's point of view. If they get inundated with viewings, this is what they're paid for. Agents want loads of viewings. But yeah, some agents might be taking the stance of, right, we've got 20, 30 viewings on that one. That's as good as sold. Why create more work for ourselves or for our seller? But I'd only imagine that's on the advice or on the nod from the seller to do that and to take it off the market. But I personally would keep it on until I've actually agreed a sale, in my opinion. But every agent's different. So eJane's been 6 months, from January. She mentioned that earlier. And yes, that is a bloody long time. And we've all got our fingers crossed for you. No longer on the market yet. We read that, didn't we? We read that. Thank you. It's been a learning experience, and hopefully the next person benefits. Their loss, someone else is going. And that's it. There will always be someone else. There will always be someone else to buy, to sell. I think it's one of those things which you just got to roll with the punches. There will be hurdles. There will be things which come up during the house buying process and the house selling process, which just need some patience, need some determination and optimism. We want optimism in this group, don't we? This is what we want. Can you guys still hear me? Because I think my computer might have crashed. I'm going to swig a drink while you're hopefully replying. I think my internet is being rather rubbish. Right, so while waiting for some more comments to come in, we will go a little bit more go through this house price affordability thing, which Halifax brought out. Good, you can all hear me. Great, that is fantastic. I haven't actually read it all completely, so some of this is going to be news to me as well. I hope you can see that all right as well, guys. So what do we have here? The level of surging property prices throughout the pandemic has reduced housing affordability to the lowest level on record, according to new research by Halifax, the UK's biggest mortgage lender. So They obviously know their beans. They know what they're talking about. The analysis based on the data from Halifax house prices compared to typical house prices to an average earnings in the UK. In the first quarter of 2022, the cost of a typical UK home was £279,431,000, where the average annual earnings for a full-time worker was estimated to be just under £39,500, puts the house price income at a ratio of 7.1, the highest affordability-wise ever recorded. Now, although this is a massive headline grabber in terms of 7.1 times average earnings, what you've got to remember is the vast majority of people who are buying a property aren't buying on their own. So most people will be buying with someone else, whether it's a partner, friend, family member, and obviously their income will be taken into consideration as well. So when you sort of had two incomes in that, you're looking at around sort of, what was it, 3.5% ish, so 3.5 times wages on two people's salary. So it's not as bad if you're buying with somebody else who's on the same sort of money as you. And as the average first time buyer is, I think, 32 years old. So if you're younger than 32, A, I'm jealous, and B, you're beating the average first time buyer. Generally, when you're 32 years old, you've been in a job or a career for a number of years. You've worked your way up the career ladder and should be on a decent wage. And obviously, that decent wage will vary from area to area. But generally, if you've been in work for 10 years, then you should be well progressed up the ladder in terms of career progression. So it's not as bad if you're buying, but if you're buying on your own, it's going to be very, very hard. On average, 7.1 times your wage, which is nuts. At the start of 2020, average earnings were £38,374, and the average house price was £239,000. This put house price to income ratio at 6.2. Since then, house prices have risen by 16.8%, while wages have gone up 2.7% over the same period. So as we said at the beginning of the stream, it's getting tough out there. It's getting tough. Here we go. Yeah. So for example, joint applicants are able to draw on two salaries, which hugely alter the affordability metrics. A second income can see affordability doubled. Also, homeowners may have benefited from corresponding increase in the value of their property, providing more equity. So it's not all bad news. It's not all bad news. Last year also saw first-time buyer numbers rise at a record rate, up 35% to reach an all-time high of 409,370. So last year, when the market was busier, 409,370 first-time buyers managed to buy a property, which is why it will happen for you. It will happen, all right? The market is getting a little bit slower, and there is more properties coming onto the market. So you will find. So just keep up the faith. Keep up the faith. Yep, you can all still hear me. All good. Lovely stuff. Thank you very much. Bo's asked a question. Do people change the locks when they move into their new home, as previous owners may have a copy? Or am I talking? Some people change locks. I had somebody come in today who bought a house from me 6 months ago. The old owner brought in a key she found in a drawer. Called the new owner or the current owner and said, do you want the key? He said, yeah, he hadn't changed the locks. He's planning to, but just hasn't got around to it yet. But yeah, I mean, I personally probably would change the locks. I don't think it's rubbish, but I certainly would. It's better to be safe than sorry. For a couple of £100, it's worth it. It is worth it. Still here, perfect. Halifax just told those who don't support a certain agenda to close their accounts of Twitter. I think I'll take that advice. Hey? Just told those who don't support. Like that. But I'll get them changed. Yep. Evening, James. Welcome back, my friend. Welcome back. People can hear me. Yes, recommended to change them. Here we go. Lovely. DJ, I want to do a 3-meter extension. Do I need an architect? Are they worthwhile? Also, which city do you live? I live near the city of Colchester. Recently upgraded from a town to a city. Not too far away from there. It's probably the biggest place you would know that is near me. I'm on the North Essex, South Suffolk border. I would always get an architect to do it, because although a 3 meter extension may fit within permitted development, you're still going to want to make sure that it's signed off properly by building control, building regs, make sure it's done properly. And when you get the architect's drawings, you'll be able to give those to a builder who'll be able to give you a much more accurate quote for building it. So that's what I would do when we were looking to get a loft extension. That is what we were advised to do, is to get an architect. Then they can provide a more accurate quote rather than just sort of guessing and stuff like that. And we seem to have that Tinder person back. How do we block that? Block user. There we go. Naked HD XYZ. Yeah, we don't want any of that. Got to keep it PG here. Got to keep it PG. So back to the affordability. What else are they saying? For historical context, the last time UK house prices experienced such a sustained growth in house prices leading up to the summer of 2007. And we all know what happened then. Average earnings were £30,508, and a typical house was just, £194,000. This generated a house price to earnings ratio of 6.4. Wow. So wages have gone up roughly nine grand a year, whereas the average house price has gone up a hell of a lot more. Look at that. That's crazy. That is crazy. Here you can see a little graph. 15-year time series, all buyers, price rate, and wages affordability. The black line is the wages ratio, how much times your wages you need to buy the average house. The light blue one down here is the income. So you can see income hasn't really kept up with house price increase. And then you can see the house price bars going up there as well. Then it goes on to talk about nations and regional things, which we all know it's different depending on where you live. What else they got? Here we go. Let me know if you are in any of these areas, which you should be, because that is the whole of the country and Scotland. If you're on anywhere near the average earnings for that area, because that'd be interesting to know. If in the southeast of England, the average person is on £41,377. Sensitive subject, I know, but some people may not want to share that. Just a simple yes or no would be nice. First-time buyers, that's that wage to ratio thing. Yeah, it's all doom and gloom if you're a first-time buyer buying on your own, isn't it? It is a full-time. It's crazy. Blanca, hello, welcome to the channel. New, thank you for joining us. Please give us a thumbs up and subscribe. First-time buying West Yorkshire here. Your videos have been so helpful. Thank you. Offered 15 to 20 grand over asking price on 2 houses and still get outbid by a considerable amount. Blanca, you are not alone. If Louise is still here, she will be singing from the same hymn sheet as you. She has definitely been experiencing people massively outbidding her over asking price offers. All I can say is just keep going. It will get better as there are more and more properties coming onto the market. It may take a little time. It can be deflating, but people in this channel, I mean, we've been doing these live streams for about 7-8 weeks now. 7 weeks, something like that. And people who were with us the first live stream have now managed to buy and secure a property, and now they're waiting their mortgage offers, or mortgage offers have just come out, like Mayers, who's a regular on this channel. So it can be frustrating and deflating, but stick at it. The right property will come up and you will get it. Just got to be patient. Maybe even adjust the type of property you're going. I haven't said it yet in this stream, but maybe looking at the property that you need rather than the property you want, adjusting your search criteria and your requirements just to get on that housing ladder before interest rates go up yet again. But yeah, don't feel too bad. It will come. Tack is over in Birmingham in the West Midlands. So let's have a look here. So according to this, where do we get to? Have I missed it? West Midlands, the average house price where you are, 238,000, and the average wage is 36.6. So at 6.5 times your wages. So you are the sort of bottom, average. You're just below average in terms of the income to house price ratio, the multiplier. I bet it doesn't feel like it though, does it? I bet it doesn't feel like it. Thanks for your advice. I love listening to you and get property market update. Keep it up. Thank you very much. Thank you. I love doing it as well. If you want to support the channel, then you can send a super chat, which would be very much appreciated. Where are we? Take it break. I've been outbid more than 10 offers in the last year, and I'm still viewing and looking. Don't lose hope. There you go. So this is what this community is about: sharing experiences, so you know you're not alone. And great advice. James, possibly a little tip for people offering over the asking price and being outbid. Start looking at houses that have been reduced. Sellers seem to be more open to taking offers. Perfect. It's exactly what we said on last week's stream. If you're noticing properties that have been on the market 3-4 weeks, they should start to reduce. And those sellers are what we call motivated sellers, and they may be more open to more negotiation. Most people, when they reduce their house, don't reduce it to the bare minimum they need to accept. And you being potentially a first-time buyer, if you're watching this channel, puts you in a prime position to offer a no-chain deal. And James is spot on. If they've reduced, they may take a lower offer and be more motivated to sell than some owners that have been sitting on the market for 6-7 weeks and not reducing their property, hoping that someone pays the right money for them. So yeah, great tip, James. Great tips. Chico, he or she is in West Yorkshire. And that takes, we've got Yorkshire here, £194,639 with the average earnings in your area at £36,285. So you are in one of the most affordable areas in England, actually. Yeah, second most affordable area in England with your house prices and your earnings ratio at 5.4 times. So you could, on your own, if you're on the average wage there, get the Nationwide Helping Hand mortgage, which is 5.5 times your income, subject to credit checks and stuff like that. You could buy a property on your own, whereas most people, average person, would need an additional income to help them get their average house in their road. Maya, definitely agree with you, Lee. Blanca, it can be a very long process, but very rewarding when finally things work out. And that is straight from Maya's mouth, who's just done it. So keep it up there. But try and build a rapport best you can when viewing. Us Yorkshire folk value honesty, and we're all in the same boat with the market right now. There you go. And that's from an owner. She's a seller and a buyer as well. But yeah, that rapport is key. People buy from people. So there. First time buyer, buying alone in North Yorkshire. What was North Yorkshire, JJ? North Yorkshire. So if you're the average person, you're on 36 grand a year. If that's the case, then you just need 5.4 times your yearly income. So that Nationwide Helping Hand mortgage, JJ, if you're buying on your own, maybe if you're on, I forget what their requirement is, it's either 30 or 35,000 pounds to be earning to qualify for the Helping Hand mortgage. So yeah, look at that if you can. If you want to speak to a mortgage broker, let me know. I'll put you in contact with them. DM. I understand your advice about buying a house you need, not a house you want, but I just can't do it. I can't settle into a house I don't really want. I get it. But I don't know what your situation now is, dealing with your renting or with friends or with family or what have you. Every month that goes by, interest rates are getting more expensive. That's money that's going into somebody else's pocket in terms of rent or not paying off a mortgage. If you've got money in the bank, inflation's making that money worth less every month as well. So, yeah. You do what you got to do, DM. You do what you got to do. You know I'm here for you. EJ, 36k average here. I'll say no more. Oh, okay. There's that my naivety, is it? I'm sorry. I mean, 36 grand is a lot of money. It's a lot of money. But according to Halifax, it's one of the most affordable places to buy, Jay. I think that might be wrong, then maybe. DRC View CV. Hello, welcome back. I think you was here a few weeks ago. Welcome back, my friend. Holly, had an offer accepted on a 2-bedroom Victorian terrace, a fixer-upper in need of modernisation, as a previous buyer deal fell through due to not being able to afford the mortgage. I'm so happy. Oh, fantastic. Oh, well done. Really pleased for you. And the good thing about modernising a property as well is you get to make it your own. Thank you, DJ72, for the £5 donation. I will buy myself a coffee or put it towards my mortgage qualification. I don't know, but thank you so much. Really much appreciated. Anything anyone donates always puts a massive smile on my face, and I'm very, very appreciative. So thank you. Makes me blush a little bit as well, but you can't tell because it's orange in here. DM, I work remote and wanting to move somewhere remote. For context, I can literally move anywhere. You've got to be careful with your mortgage as well, because although you can work remotely, some lenders don't like you living a certain distance away from your property. Working from, yeah. So they like you to be within a certain distance of where you work to where you live. I don't know if you can prove that you work remotely, get something in writing from your employer, but why don't you then, DM, move to one of the most affordable places in the country, which is the Northeast? I'm sure we've got some people in the Northeast there who can give you some tips. You may already be there. You may already be there. Again, DJ, thank you so much for the cup of coffee. Really appreciate it. Average, not the median. Exactly. Bit of a difference between average and the median. Amar Ali, welcome to the channel. How to deal with pushy estate agents? All those gits. Some of them claim they have plenty of deals. Some of them claim they have plenty of deals and play hardball, so they may have many higher offers, but the house stays on the market for weeks. Well, pushy agents are working for the seller. So they're paid to get as much money for the seller as possible, which is why I've set up this channel, because there's not people looking out for buyers where you can come and ask these sorts of questions. So thank you for asking that question. Sorry you've had pushy estate agents. If you feel like they're lying and you've got it in writing, then you can take things further. You can go to the property ombudsman and report them for making up offers. But if they're saying they have plenty of offers on a property and it's not being sold, then either those higher offers still aren't enough for the seller and they're rejecting them, or they're making them up, or buyers withdraw their offer. Sometimes buyers offer a figure and then sleep on it and then change their mind. Happens more often than you think. So you can just be firm. Don't listen to what you think is bullcrap. Just stick to your guns. You've done your research when you're buying a property, when you're offering, you know what it's worth. You know what it's worth to you and how much you want to pay for it. Only offer what you want to pay for it. If you're not happy at the start of the transaction, which I think Boa Yoon might be a little bit as a regular on this stream, thinks you may be overpaying for a property, that's just going to manifest throughout the whole of the transaction. So it's best to sort of, be happy with the price you're paying from day one. And if you're not, then if anything does come up in the future while you're buying that property, you're just going to walk away because you're not overly bothered, because you think you're paying too much for it anyway. So I would certainly just stick to your guns. Only pay what you think it's worth. Don't be forced up at all. Some hires push up. They do, and bonuses do as well. You think like a lot of people who get a bonus that gets added on, which isn't always a yearly thing, which can push up the average earnings. So yeah, you're quite right there. You're quite right. DRC views. NatWest application sent last Friday. Thanks to Mr. Broker who recommended Lee. Massive fan. Oh, fantastic. So DRC emailed me asking for a mortgage broker. I recommended the one that I use whenever I get anybody ask me for a mortgage, I always recommend them. So if you are interested in speaking to the mortgage broker that DRC is using, who is fantastic, then you know what the email address is, leah@propertyadvice@gmail.com, and I'll put you in contact with the company, who are fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Right, let's see what else we got. Oh, there we go, I've got quite a few. Oh, I mean, I work via the internet. Okay. Chico. Yes, must be hard. I nearly spat out my tea when I heard it. Certainly not to me. Who else? Right, let's share this screen again. Where is it? Can you see that all right? So give me a yes. That's all I want, is a yes or a no if you're in any one of these areas and you are on the average earnings. All right. So you haven't got to say what you're on, where you are. So no one's going to know, apart from Chigo and E-Jane, where you are in the world. But just put yes or no. Look at this report, look at this graph or this table, and let me know if you are earning the average or not. And by not, it means less. All right. So yes, if you're earning that or above, or no, if it's anything below the average. Let me know with a simple yes or no in the stream. And that will give us a rough idea on if this figure is total crap. Cheryl, welcome back, Cheryl. Even everyone got my mortgage offer finally. Fantastic. Let's give some love to Shell. Got a mortgage offer. Vendor doesn't want to give us a second viewing until they want to see the house again with fresh eyes. As offer accepted 3 months ago, but have to wait. Frustrating. Yes. Some sellers do get a little just shy when it comes to having people around again for a second viewing. You can't force the matter. I mean, you could say, look, if we can't view it again, we're going to pull out. But would you pull out, Cheryl? I don't know. Probably not, because you've got to the mortgage offer stage. So congratulations. But yeah, hopefully they find soon you can get in there and have another look and then get the whole ball rolling and what have you. So yeah, congratulations. I'm really pleased for you, Cheryl. Really pleased for you, as I'm sure everybody in the stream is as well. Give me food. Should I ever call out an estate agent for lying to us, or just leave it, since this could hinder our property buying process? Yes, it's a difficult line to tread, isn't it? If you think the estate agent has misled you, calling them out certainly isn't going to help your cause in terms of being told about any new properties or even trying to tie your offer up. An agent will have to put your offer forward by law, but how they put that offer forward to the seller can go well if they like you, and they can just literally say the bare minimum. Hi, Give Me Food's offered 250 grand. They're first time buyers. That's it. Whereas if you are putting an offer forward, you really big up the position, big up the person. Oh, they're a family. They're going to be using it for themselves. That rapport that you've built up with them as a buyer to you, as the agent you use to try and secure the property for them at the price the owner's happy with. So it can hinder your offering power, if you like. So I'd be very careful what you say until at least you've exchanged contracts. That would be what I would probably say. Wait till you've exchanged contracts and then start calling them out for lying. But if you want to email me, Give Me Food, let me know what it was about. I can maybe advise you on maybe the best route to go down. TK, welcome to the channel. Give it a like if you haven't already. I have a mortgage offer accepted for a new build. Congratulations. Estimated to be completed in October. Is it okay to change jobs that will cause a decrease in overall income? Expected to extend? No. That will be mortgage fraud. Okay. So you have an obligation, a legal obligation, I believe, once you've signed that mortgage offer, to inform the mortgage company of any change in your financial circumstances and employment circumstances. So if your earnings is due to change or your job's due to change, you must inform your mortgage company. If you don't and they find out, then you would have committed mortgage fraud. So yeah, that is not a good thing. That is not a good thing. So I'd be open and honest, or see if you can put off the job until you've at least moved in, and then you can inform them later on. But once you've actually got the property, just let them know the changes, and then they may keep you on that rate. They may do something different, but you need to let them know if there's going to be a dramatic change in your earning power or borrowing power and your ability to pay the mortgage. So yeah. Oh, Cheryl, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the for the super chat, £5. Thank you, yes, very much. And I know times are hard, guys. So every donation is very much appreciated. So thank you so much. And it does mean the world. It does mean the world. So thank you. Right. Okay. Thank you, Cheryl. Oh yeah. Again, makes me so happy. So happy. Thank you. Jane. I got 16 offers originally, but didn't accept one for 3 weeks. Qualifying them from an affordability standpoint took time. Also, I kept getting cash buyers sneaking in. They do sneak in, those cash buyers, don't they, Jane? They do sneak in. Thank you, everyone. The struggle is real. My resistance not to offering more than 15K-ish grand over is worrying that the property will be downvalued. If it gets downvalued, it gets downvalued. What can you do about it? You can renegotiate. You can renegotiate, do a deal, or you walk away and you don't get it. That's the worst that can happen. So don't worry about being downvalued. Cross that bridge if it happens. If it happens, as you know, I'm an optimist. I don't do pessimism. I worry about things when they happen rather than before. We have enough to make up the difference. I mean, you think it's worth that? The estate agent priced it on comparable properties. Chances are there's more chance than not that the property is going to go through the valuation. Okay, so you're talking of 100 surveys, 1 or 2 might get downvalued. So that's 98 to 99 surveys that happen which don't get downvalued, I'd imagine, something like that. So it's in the minority that houses get downvalued. So hopefully you're in that minority, but there will be people that that do have their houses downvalued, which is a shame, but you cross that bridge when it comes to it. And I'm here to help if you need it, and so is everybody in the community. So feel free to sort of keep us posted. 100% from a son's point of view, it would be a good idea to offer what you're not. It wouldn't be a good idea to offer what you're not comfortable with, as it can waste. Exactly. You both got to be happy at the beginning of the transaction. Can I have the email? Yeah, if you email me at where is it? Lee Everett Property Advice at gmail.com. I haven't got a website yet because I don't know what I'd fill it with. It's with my own domain name. But yeah, Lee Everett Property Advice at gmail.com, and I will get around to answering those in between work and family life. Where are we? Taki, I'm 40% above average. Fantastic. Well done, Taki. Well done. That's fantastic. But you're still struggling. So there you go. So even being above average doesn't guarantee you're going to get the mortgage. DM, yes, he's at or over average. Blanca is yes. Boa, London average 55k. So that's a load of. I'm guessing that's a no from Boa. T, you can't see. Hang on. Let me put it back up there for you so you can see it. There you go. Check out where you are. Let me know if you're earning the average price. Paul is Chico saying congratulations to Cheryl. Yes, another congratulations. T-Top, welcome to the channel. Hit like if you haven't. They're earning above average or average. We've got Naked HD back. I keep blocking them, but they keep coming back. I'm not interested. Here we go. T-Top. Right, yep. So let me know. Tick. Let me know. Lee, my solicitors have done ID checks on me. At what point do I pay them the search fee? As it's only been 1 week into the mortgage. Right. So what you can do is you can pay them the £300, but instruct them not to start the searches until you've got your mortgage offer. That's quite a standard thing that's happening at the moment. Is wait for the mortgage offer to come out. Let the estate agent know that that's what you're doing. That you've done the application. Survey should be done soon. Once the mortgage offer's out, you'll then have the searches instructed and the legal work start. That'd be my advice, just in case you're in the minority of people that don't get the mortgage offer or what have you, or the seller doesn't find anywhere or something like that. That'd be what I do. Give them the money, but tell them not to do any work until you have your mortgage offer. Put that in writing as well via email. That's how I would buy a house right now. May I say congratulations to Cheryl? Yep. Massive congratulations. How much good architects normally charge? Do you know any good architects and builders you can recommend? My property is near Bromley. Okay, so Clive Long in Clacton-on-Sea. There's one in Colchester, which if you email me, DJ, a friend of mine gave me an architect in Brightlingsea, which I'll need to dig out their information. Email me there, and I'll put you in contact, and then hopefully the architect can help you out. Hampshire. So where's Hampshire on here? I'm crap at geography, by the way. So where's Hampshire in that one? I'm blushing because I don't do geography very well. So where is Hampshire? Alex N, welcome to the channel. I have buyers' rumours as estate agents lied about work being done in community. I have buyers' rumours as estate agents lied about work being done. You might need to elaborate on that a little bit, Alex, if you could. Can I take legal action? If you've been lied to and can prove it, and it's something which falls within the estate agent's obligation to tell you about. So an agent must tell you anything which would affect your decision to buy the property. They may not know about the communal areas, which is what your solicitor would have to find out. They will ask about any works being done to the property. I would. If it's something which they should have known, they should have told you about. But if not, it's up to your solicitor to find out things, and the seller's solicitor to let you know of anything that's going to be happening in the communal areas, etc. Can I recommend any good surveyors? It depends where you are in the world. Give me food. Depends where you are. I mean, the surveyors that I recommend deal with Suffolk and Essex. So if you're in that sort of area, I can certainly put you in contact. But in terms of going further afield, I don't like recommending people I've not used personally. So I'll just go on Google reviews, or if there's a couple of local estate agents, family-run estate agents, you can also speak to them. They've probably got a rapport or relationship with a local surveyor who may be able to sort of look out for you. But yeah, if you're anywhere in sort of Essex or Suffolk, email me and I'll put you in contact. That's Lee Everett, propertyadvice@gmail.com. Maya, we are thinking of installing solar panels in the new property, but wonder if we decide to sell it later before finishing paying off the loan. Would this be? Don't lease them, will be my one advice. Never lease solar panels. They're a pain to then sell the property. Mortgage companies don't like solar panels on, or leased solar panels on houses or bungalows. When these solar panels, people were flogging them sort of 5-6 years ago, when they first started coming more mainstream, they were saying that it would increase your house price value. But they were costing 15-20 grand to do, and it wasn't increasing the house prices by 15-20 grand. The feed-in tariffs now for solar panels aren't as good as what they were 5, 6, 7 years ago. So do it for yourself. If you think you're going to be there long enough and you're going to benefit eventually from paying off the loan and getting money in from the solar panels, then do it. If not, then I personally wouldn't be doing it. There's probably better things you can spend that sort of money on, especially if you're going to get a loan to do it as well. So it's going to cost you interest to borrow that money. Yeah, I personally, I don't think it would increase your property value first and foremost. Maybe in the years to come, as energy prices are going up, maybe it'd be more of a selling point. But I don't think people would pay more money for solar panels because it defeats the object. Why pay £20,000 more to save £100 a month on your energy bills? 20 grand. Yeah, it's a lot of months, isn't it, of savings. Emma, what do you think about knocking on neighbours' doors in order to find out more about the area? Depends on the neighbourhood, really. If it's a desirable area, a nice area, you could always write a letter. I would personally join local Facebook groups and seeing what people post in there. Ask questions in the local. I'm thinking of moving to such and such road or such and such area. What do people think of it? You'll get some brutally honest answers there, good and bad. So that would be one that I would ask the local community. But I mean, you can ask about what are the schools like, what's the commuting like, what the shops like, is it noisy, is it not noisy, all those sorts of things which you'd be looking at when you're viewing a property anyway. But certainly have a little post in the Facebook groups. Wazza FHD, welcome to the channel. Please call me Warren. Ignore the username. Sorry, it's from when I was 13 years old. Just wanted to say I love the content. It's nice to get Warren, thank you so much. Pleasure to have you here. Pleasure to have you. Thank you for joining me. If you could just give the stream a thumbs up as well, that'd be absolutely fantastic. We've overrun this evening, guys. I'm going to get in trouble. Yeah. Install panels yourself and buy yourself, contain battery systems, and they're not expensive. Forget about making money back from the grid. DM knows his stuff. He knows his stuff. Maybe you should be doing this live stream. But yes, guys, look, we've overrun. If you do want to buy me a coffee, there's a link down there. If you do want to show some appreciation. If not, I'll be back here 8:30 Wednesday next week, hopefully with no technical issues, and we can all hang out again. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you next week. Take care, guys. Love you all.